Hi everybody, welcome back to Memorial May. I am going around my town of Melbourne, Florida looking for historical markers this month and trying to learn a little bit more about the history of my town. So come along with me. Today we are looking for what used to be a naval station, and there's a historical marker on the site now. Let's go. Today's historical marker is located in Melbourne, Florida, only a few blocks away from a hospital where I used to work and from the Melbourne International Airport. This marker was placed here in October of 2001 to remember the Naval Air Station and all of the Navy and Marine personnel who worked in civil service capacity here and the 65 men who died at the station in performance of their duty. As early as June 1940, the Civil Aeronautics Authority had authorized the formation of a civilian pilot testing facility to provide standardized flight training. With the threat of war, Congressman Joe Hendricks convinced the Roosevelt administration to designate the old Melbourne Airport as a naval air station. The U.S. Navy constructed the Naval Air Station Melbourne at the O'Galley Melbourne Municipal Airport at the beginning of World War II and commissioned it on October 20th, 1942 as Operational Training Unit No. 2. The Navy and the Marines used the Naval Air Station Melbourne for advanced flight and gunnery training for newly commissioned pilots of carrier-based fighter aircraft and as a base during World War II. While operational, over 2,200 naval aviators trained in Wildcats and Hellcats at this station. As an active military base, the Naval Air Station contained 129 buildings and served more than 310 officers and 1,355 enlisted personnel of the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. Under the command of Naval Air Operational Training Command in Jacksonville, peak training occurred in 1944 with 150 Hellcats in use. The Women's Reserve, known as Waves, were stationed at this site in 1944, and in 1945, German POWs were located here as laborers in the base laundry and mess facility. The U.S. Bureau of Aeronautics tested engines and aircrafts at this location also. Auxiliary fields were located at Malabar and Valkyria, serving both to launch and land airplanes in simulated aircraft carrier conditions. Among the personnel based at the NAS Melbourne was Lieutenant Commander David P. McCampbell, who served as a landing signal officer instructor until August of 1943. He later went on to become the highest scoring ace in the U.S. Navy. The station published 2 newspapers, starting with the Melbourne Wildcats from 1943 to 44, which was replaced by the Melbourne Hellcat from 1944 to 1946. During the station's operation, 63 personnel died in aerial accidents and 2 enlisted men died in ground-related accidents. The worst aircraft accident that has occurred in South Brevard County occurred on March 26, 1944. A B-24 bomber from Chatham Field, Savannah, Georgia, suffered multiple engine failures and crashed near O'Galley while attempting an emergency nighttime landing at the Naval Air Station. 10 airmen were killed. The only survivor was the co-pilot, 20-year-old Basil R. Huntress. William R. Barnett, who was a student pilot in the summer of 1944, published a book called U.S. Naval Air Station, Melbourne, Florida, about his experiences, which is available on Amazon. Barnett was born in 1922 and joined the U.S. Navy as an aviation cadet during 1942, graduating in May of 1944. He was sent to NAS Melbourne for instruction in day fighter pilot techniques, and from there to NAS Vero Beach for training in night fighter combat. He served the remainder of the war in Night Fighter Squadron 52. During his career in the Navy, he served 10 years on active duty and 15 years in the organized reserves. His civilian occupation was with several aerospace companies where he specialized in engineering planning of major projects. He was also employed as a test pilot in the Dynamic Flight Simulation Lab at North American Aviation. His book details the pre-war and wartime history of the station and documents the fatal crash of the B-24 at the boundary of the airfield. The Naval Air Station was closed on February 12, 1946, and returned to the City of Melbourne as surplus property in 1947. Currently, the City of Melbourne operates the site as the Melbourne-Orlando International Airport. One extant structure is the base's Ship Service and Recreation Building, used during the war to host basketball games, movies, dance parties, and lectures. Wow, that was really cool. This is such a nice retirement community. It's called Tropical Haven. I saw the sign as we drove in, Tropical Haven Community, and it looks like mostly retired people who are living in one-story homes. And there's so much to do here. I would have loved to film it, but all the people are actually out enjoying the grounds, the different games they can play. A lot of these games I don't even recognize. I don't know what they are, but it's nice to see them out and about getting some sun and moving around, some exercise. They all look fit and happy. The marker is right down there, and I just got done filming it. I'm gonna head out of here before they wonder if I'm filming their homes or something. But this is a really nice community and a very nice marker. It's got benches if you want to sit and read it and just kind of take in the ambiance under the big shade tree. I think it's my favorite marker that we've come across yet. So I had a really good time learning all about this naval station, and I hope you did too. I'll see you guys another day in another video. Bye, everybody.